4 to 5 cups of pesticide-free rose petals. After you've gathered your rose petals, put them in a mason jar like this, and they fit pretty well. This is actually a little bit more than 4 cups because I had a few left over and I kind of mashed them in there. And then pour some boiling water over them. And essentially what you're doing is making a rose tea. And you're going to want to let this sit for about a half an hour or longer. Just like that. You will need your rose petal tea, approximately 4 cups of sugar. It's a 1-to-1 ratio, equal amounts liquid and sugar, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, 1 packet of pectin, and then some jars or whatever you want to put your rose petal jelly in. I am going to can mine. You don't have to can it, but if you don't, it has a shorter shelf life. You'll need to put it in the fridge and use it in the same time frame that you would an open jar of jelly or jam. Or you could freeze it too if you don't want to can it and you want to extend the shelf life. Strain your rose petal tea into a saucepan. I'm going to bring my rose petal tea to a boil, a low boil. I just want to be able to dissolve the pectin in the sugar. I don't want to overcook the rose. And here comes one of my favorite parts. See that beautiful, gentle pink color? I'm going to add my 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And like magic, is that the coolest thing ever? It just really enhances the color. Next, I'm going to add my pectin, a whole packet, and I'm going to make sure it is dissolved completely before adding the sugar. Since I am canning mine, I do have my jars in my canning pot and the little lids under some hot water here. I don't want to make this into a full-on canning video, but the cleaner your jars are and the lids, the better, whether you're canning or whether you are going to just put it in the freezer or the refrigerator. Either way, very clean. You don't have to boil them like this, but just make sure they're real clean. You can run them through the dish cycle too in your dishwasher, and that will help sterilize them as well. All right, my pectin is dissolved, so I'm going to add the sugar. And yes, this is a lot of sugar, as jams and jellies are. There are ways you can use less sugar. There are special pectins for that. I'm just doing it the regular way this time for this video. I'm going to dissolve this sugar. I would actually recommend putting in the sugar a little more slowly than that and stirring as you go. I had to film this. I didn't have a camera person, so I had to sort of dump it in and do what I needed to do. But I think ideally you would put it in a little more slowly than I did. All right, so I have my rose petal jelly. It's still hot in the pan. I have my clean hot jars. I have my clean lids, and I have a little, this is the pan that I kind of boiled these lids in. So there's hot water in here. What I'm going to do is use that hot water to clean any jelly that gets on this rim as I'm filling it. I'm going to turn this around. Yes. This stuff is all very, very hot. So it's really better that you don't hold the jar. Get yourself set up so you can ladle it in without touching it. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my gosh, I just love it. I'm going to leave mine a little bit from the top. Oops, I really didn't want to do 2 of these big ones. Darn, that's okay. I'm using mostly small jars like this because I want to give some as gifts, but we don't really eat flowers. so specifically like this in, American culture. You don't really eat rose, whereas in other cultures it is more common. So I just want to give someone something that's fun. They can try a little, but they don't feel like they are obligated to use an entire jar of jelly. You could stop here and let this set. Ooh, those are a little hot. Let them set, and you could give them as a gift just like this. I am going to return mine to a hot water bath just for maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes to make sure that they're nice and hot. So I've taken my jars out of the water bath. They're very hot right now. I'm going to listen for the little pop, 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 pop that lets me know that the seal has sealed properly. And then I will test them with this little test. You shouldn't be able to do that once the seals are down. And once again, this is just if you want to can your jelly so that you can put it on a shelf. Otherwise, you could put this in the refrigerator and use it in about the same amount of time that you would an open jar of jelly. I took a little taste of this in the pan. There was a little bit left in the bottom of the pan, and it's delicious, and it's so delicate and just a little bit rosy, and there's a little bit of tartness from the lemon. It's absolutely lovely. If you wanted the rose flavor a little stronger, you could leave it in the jar infusing longer when you're making your tea. I think that's what I will do next time, but this is beautiful. It's got a lovely, delicate flavor. If you like content about life from a mature woman's perspective, and if you love flowers, give me a like and consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you back soon.